Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Designing with Mark. Before us is the soon-to-be new koi pond. As you can see, we have spread the underlayment, which is like a thick felt material. We decided to place a double layer to protect the top rubber liner, which will go on next. Even at this stage, you can see the two plant ledges where we will be placing hardy water lilies. The underlayment went on fairly easy because it is light in weight. Not so for the rubber liner. It took two of us and a dolly to get it over to the pond. Here you can see that the rubber liner has been installed. This was quite a challenge. Not only was it heavy, but we had to work around a non-uniform shape. This meant lots of folds. It was also necessary to have enough material to come up over the edge of the pond and tuck the ends into the soil. Luckily for us, I had already dug an 18-inch trench around 2/3 of the pond for some new electrical wire and for the flexible hosing for the pond's skimmer and pressure filter. As you can more readily see in this photo, the raised area at the far end is for the waterfall feature and filter. When designing your pond, it is recommended to have your skimmer directly opposite your waterfall filter. This way the debris is directed toward the skimmer. Rocks, rocks, and more rocks. Here is where I spent the majority of my summer, in what I call the rock pit. The entire interior of the pond had to be lined in stone, with boulders of all shapes and sizes. Because we were unable to take advantage of heavy equipment to transport this amount of stone from our driveway, I was forced to hand load a dolly with 4 to 5 stones and lug them to the pond edge. And that was only half the work. The real work was hoisting them into the pond hole, which is close to 4 feet deep. Next came the fitting of the stones together so that they supported the layer above them. Thankfully, they make this rock foam, which when sprayed between and behind the crevices, secures the rock like cement. And all the while I was ever mindful to be careful not to puncture the rubber liner with the sharp edge of a rock. It took 4 pallets of New England fieldstone boulders to complete the sides and waterfall. Here you can see how the waterfall feature was constructed. We used a different type of stone for the waterfall and used that same stone to surround the edge of the pond. At this point, the stone work for the pond was nearly complete, and we took a break from the rock work to begin some planting around the pond. We placed 2 weeping Japanese maples, one red and one green, and 2 azaleas flanking the waterfall. That oddly placed stone to the left is a faux stone that would eventually fully cover the in-ground pressure filter. The pond was nearing its completion. From this angle, you can see to the top of the waterfall filter. That black square shelf at the top actually goes down into the soil over 24 inches deep. Inside there are 3 filter pads which serve as both mechanical filtration and biological. Eventually, another faux stone will cover the top, allowing easy access for cleaning. Here I am on a hot September day, setting some of the final stone by hand. As you can see, it takes some finessing to fit the stones together so they look natural as possible. One minute you're hauling a boulder you can barely lift, and the next you're placing a sliver of stone to balance or even out the adjacent stones. This takes time, but this is the artistic side to this whole project. I enjoy this the most. From this angle you can see the entrance to the skimmer chamber. It looks small, but it does the job and captures the debris that lands on the pond surface. You can also see the river stone that I started to spread after placing those large flat stones around the edge. Those flat-edged stones are quite heavy, but when secured with foam will create a safe edging. And you can see that the bottom of the pond has a good layer of smooth river stone. Decisions, decisions, decisions. It's all a part of the design process. It's like one large jigsaw puzzle, but without a picture to follow. Here, Andy steps in to help negotiate a particularly large stone that isn't cooperating. I must have adjusted and readjusted those final stones 3 to 4 times over. Hooray! It was time for water. I thought that day would never come. From this angle, the pond does not look very big, but in the end, it will hold 2,000 gallons of water. Well, exciting day today. We just received our first shipment of koi for our koi garden. I'm about to release them into our pond.
I don't know if it's hard to see due to the glare of the sun, but we got four. The yellow one is an Okon. The other three have subtle pattern differentiations. One's a Kohaku, one's a Showa, and one is a Sanket. So I'm going to try get these released.
Here are our koi in their new home. They're still exploring and getting used to their new surroundings, but as you can see, they are quite active already. When constructing the pond, I made sure to create 2 caves at the base of the pond. These hiding spaces serve more than one purpose. The most important is protection against predators. And as you can see, our very first water lilies are blooming. We have 3 colors, yellow, pink, and orange. They are hardy and will be able to survive our harsh New England winters. The lilies are planted in special planting medium so that they don't leach out soil and fertilizers into the pond water. My next video will be a walkthrough where I will name the various plants we use so far in our design process. So, if you've enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you guys again.